tide where shadows whisper, darkness hides. We're diving deep into the unknown. On a journey, you're not alone. From haunted halls to specters lost, we'll guide you through the eerie frost. With tales that chill and spirits roam, a freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Welcome to the midnight tide where shadows whisper, darkness hides. We're diving deep into the unknown. On a journey, you're not alone. From haunted halls to specters lost, we'll guide you through the eerie frost. With tales that chill and spirits roam. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show. The freaking awesome paranormal show. Ghostly whispers, ancient tomes, mysteries in haunted homes. Brace yourselves, it's time to go. The freaking awesome paranormal show.
The engine is starting up.
For launch, GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
3, 2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Riff Nation Network, the RNN. Putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural, from comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
What's up, all you freaks? Oh, hang on one second. There we go. What is up, all you freaks out there? This is Ryan.
And this is Rhonda.
And welcome back to the show. You were gone last week.
I was in sunny Florida last week.
I tell you what, it wasn't much different
It
here.
was hotter here. It was hotter here in Florida by like 10 degrees.
Yeah. I see you brought that cold Florida weather back home.
If you want to call it cold.
That cold.
Oh my gosh, but it's been I'm threatening to lose my voice. It's been a shock to my because I left all the pollen and all of that. Went down there in the salt air, kind of like everything cleared up and everything was wonderful. And then I came back to 3 inches of pollen.
God,
and I am feeling that 3 inches of pollen.
I took RJ to Maymont Park today.
Oh, cool.
And I was driving out there, going down Mechanicsville Turnpike, and I was like, "Oh shit! I forgot to take my allergy medicine." And I knew that if I walked around Maymont, which for those of you who don't know, Maymont is a park, was actually someone's property in downtown Richmond that they turned into a park, but it's really pretty. But lots of trees and stuff. And I knew if I tried walking around Maymont without allergy medicine, I would be done for the rest of the day. So I stopped at Walgreens. Got me some
allergies have been so bad this year. I actually went to the doctor. I had to go to the doctor, and she changed everything because what I usually take every year was not working, and so now I have like 2 nasal sprays and a whole different like I'm not taking Allegra anymore. I'm taking Zyzal. So change my whole routine up because it's that bad.
Whatever Angie gave me to take is what I'm taking. I probably,
I
probably could be taking something better.
Maybe not. They're all pretty standard. I just think you take one for a few years in a row and it works for you, and then all of a sudden it just doesn't work anymore.
You build up a tolerance for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I like the spring because of the flowers and go outside and stuff, but it's like when you're so miserable and like you feel sick, but you're not sick because it's allergies. It's like then you think, do I have a cold? Do I have allergies? It's just it's not fun here in Virginia, especially when it's super bad pollen wise. But I'm glad you had fun.
I did. It was a great time.
And, Florida. Give a shout out to Dana for filling in. We had a good conversation with Haunts of Richmond. Hello, everyone in chat.
Hello, chat.
Michelle,
Mish
and
Howie and Kevin.
Giving out good
Risa
advice.
And Lois and Michael Brooks.
We have the whole crew out here tonight.
Yeah, we do. Renee, thank you for sharing us out. This is awesome.
And I do have to say, I feel bad for having the show tonight. And I realized I should have canceled it when I figured out what day it was. But I just figured it out like 2 hours ago. So for those of you who are just coming home from the celebrations and they're joining us, I want to thank you for joining us on National Bunion Day.
Oh my gosh.
I know, right? I mean,
I know you're out.
Yeah, I know.
I know
you're out
celebrating those bunions.
Celebrating the bunions. So I don't want to be insensitive to those of you who are having time with your families, having your bunion buffet. But
I know you had to let them have free run today.
Well, I figure it's 9:00, right? It's plenty of time.
Put your bunions away.
Share your presents, sing your carols, whatever you do on National Bunion Day, and then gather the family around. Which I know you do every Tuesday night. Gather the family around, and you guys watch the Freakin' Awesome Paranormal show. I mean.
Teresa.
Will be the new Bunion Day family tradition. As long as it's on a Tuesday, you guys can come and enjoy the goodness of the Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show while you're celebrating the Bunions in your.
So
corny.
corny.
There we go, Teresa.
Oh my.
Everyone, send good vibes to Teresa too while you're at it.
What's going on with Teresa?
National Bun. She's just had some stuff going on.
Okay, we got you, Teresa.
You guys throw some positive energy out her way.
That's right.
Because you don't want to be sad on Bunyan Day.
No.
Of course, yeah. Who wants that? Who wants that? We have got a good show for you. I mean, I would never say we have a bad show for you guys. Of course, it's a good show. Every show is a good show.
Every show is a good show.
I'd be like, you know what, guys, this show sucks. Tune in. No.
This is a really good one.
Yes, because we're talking about numerology tonight, and that is something that has always fascinated me.
Yeah.
And just learning how numbers work and how they work out. Actually, you're like, how does this even work? But that's where we have Susan Nadeau joining us to explain how it works. Yep. And maybe even get some numbers read tonight. I know she's doing our numbers.
Okay.
And I asked if she would mind if we have time to read some.
Oh, that's cool.
Read some numbers for our audience. So, but, I'm actually surprised there was not mass chaos.
This
past week. Because
I think there might have been mass chaos. There might have been.
Probably was. All the stuff going on in the Middle East, all that stuff never would have happened if you were just in here to read the cards. So let's put the world back in order. And we will get everything straight. So when everything calms down, you can thank us for that.
Yes. I apologize for leaving y'all in a pinch last week, not knowing what to do, winging it all by yourselves.
It was tough.
We got it this week.
It was tough.
Let's see what we got. Let's pull one from the middle. What does the collective need to know this week? All right. Ooh. Thoughts become matter. So this is really and truly just that. I almost want to say a warning to remember that your thoughts create your reality 100%. So as hard as it is, I feel like we need to reframe those negative thoughts that come in our head. And that's hard to do. But if you practice at it, and you hear yourself like, there's no way I'll be able to do that. Or, oh my gosh, traffic is going to be bad today. I just know it. I'm going to be stuck in traffic. And then, flip the script and just go, wait a minute. Nope. No, that's not how it's going to happen. I'm going to have smooth sailing, might hit a little traffic, but it's not going to be terrible. So, I think this is just that reminder. I can't even read anything outside of that into that because, the thoughts become matter. It becomes something real. It becomes something tangible, good, bad, or indifferent. So make sure that you are subconsciously checking in with yourself every so often, especially if you've got something heavy on your mind, and try to reframe the thoughts, be it even to say, try to flip it to a more positive outcome, or even in some way try to say, okay, well, is that my only option of how the day could go? And then put out into the universe what you really want to happen.
Thoughts are powerful things.
Yeah.
It can make you it could affect your mood. It can affect other people's moods. Like every invention, every book, everything was once a thought. So you've got to.
That's true. I didn't even think about it from that perspective. That every thought or even the thought of I should write a book about that, or every thought, it can become something that can be quite changing for someone else. So make sure that you're putting your thoughts in, not just monitoring your thoughts, but putting thoughts into action and tangible things. That's a good point, Ryan.
Did it say thoughts become matter because thoughts matter?
That's right.
So it's kind of goes together like that. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, I know it's obviously you can't have good thoughts all the time.
No.
It's just impossible to do that. But
I think it's more, I find that the older I get, it's more about just recognizing that,
yeah,
whoops, I'm in that frame of mind and I need to figure out what I need to do about that. And maybe it is just don't make any decisions, don't do anything today, just be. But I think the key to it all is just recognizing that you're in that mindset.
Try to approach things differently from a different point of view. Like if you look at something for like the same way for so long, and like, if you look at it this way, it may change the way you look at things.
Well, too, and like the fact you can worry yourself about something to bring it into existence. Like if you sit there and worry about, man, I just know the battery in my car is old and it's going to die on me. It's going to die on me any day. And you keep thinking that every morning before you leave for work. Well, I bet you within like a short period of time, you're going to go try to start your car and that battery's not going to start. Your car's not going to start, battery's going to be dead because you kept putting that out there.
I mean, eventually, if you don't do anything about it, it will die.
Right.
So maybe you're just reminding yourself, but yeah, it's true, man. If you think a certain way, think negative about everything, then it's really going to affect just not even your mind, but your health and all that stuff. And it's hard, but it's will make your life a lot better if you try to find the positive in life. And you don't have to search very far to find the positives in our next guest.
Yes.
Because we are talking numbers today. And numbers confuse me. I was bad at math. So I may get a little bit confused here, but
I think you'll be fine.
Listen to the first time, but just learning about the golden ratio numbers. There are numbers everywhere, and you don't realize how important numbers are until you start talking about numerology and how it really affects our everyday lives. And we're going to learn about that right now. Let's bring on Susan Nadeau. Here she is. Welcome.
Welcome, Sue.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, gonna be fun.
Yes.
Fun.
Yeah. Definitely appreciate it. So, like I was saying earlier, the idea of numerology fascinates me. And I would like to know, like, what exactly numerology is. Like a basic description of what it is.
Okay. It's mostly just energy, right? And you just keep adding the numbers together to get a different type of energy. So you put all the energy together and that's the only way I can really explain it. It's just, they put, the way I do it, I put a planet to a number and then that's an energy, right? So if you've got repetitive numbers in your name or your birth date, you have more of that energy.
Okay.
Or, too, you can look at the shape of the numbers and tell how the numbers are going. All that, and it's just a form of energy, right? You add them together, you can subtract them. You do all kinds of things with them.
Do we have any idea, Sue, how long have people been using numerology to figure out different things?
Oh God, for years. It's been like a long time, I think. I'm not really into history and that, but it's way back, like too, when they did the ruins
Okay.
and all that kind of stuff, right? It was all like just little signals of whatever, and they put it all together, made a language of it, right? It's just like another language, I suppose you could say. Once you can get to learn it, it's just like speaking another language. It's just easy. It just comes easy for you, and you know how to put it all together.
So when you see numbers like Teresa just asked, if you see numbers like 1111, 3330, 333, something like that, is that kind of anything to do with numerology, or is that something completely different?
Oh yeah, like it can be. If you believe in numerology, like you watch for the numbers, and if you have a lucky number, or if you watch your birthday and all that kind of stuff. It's not like you need to be watching it all the time, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, like if you got a lucky number, if you always have a lucky number, you're prone to see it more than you do the other numbers. So you'll notice it, like a license plate in front of you. If your lucky number's 1 and the license plate in front of you is full of 1s, you're thinking, oh, wow, that's my lucky number, that kind of thing, right? And it's more intuitive if you use it that way, I would think. You know what, for myself, I use it sometimes and sometimes I don't. It just depends what kind of mood I'm in. Right. And it's just like the cards. When you read the cards, right, you get a message, and it's like you read the numbers. You can get a message out of the numbers also.
So like if you have a number, like my favorite numbers, like why would someone have a favorite number unless there is some kind of energy, like you're attracted to that number? Like for some reason, my favorite number is 7. I like
Yeah.
number 7,
Mhm.
but I have no reason why my favorite
Yeah.
number is 7.
So, well, it's just like a color. You know, sometimes when you
Yeah.
just certain colors, right? So it's the numbers. But when you start looking into numerology and you do like your full name and your birth date and all that kind of stuff, sometimes you have missing numbers. And then that could be why you're drawn to that number, because you don't have that. And that's like one of the lessons you're supposed to learn is the energy of that number, right? Or when you do your full name, you might have a lot of number 7s, right? And you might just like the number 7. You might like the way it sounds. Right? So it doesn't
Yeah.
have to really be, that's just you. Now, another person, they could say, no, I don't like 7 at all. So it's just a preference, but it can have something to do with your name and your birthday and all that kind of stuff. Anything's possible, right? Why you like a number or why you don't.
How did you get into numerology?
Well, I started with the zodiac, and then I started reading about astrology, and then there's 12 houses in the astrology, and then these houses meant something. And then I noticed that the tarot cards had numbers on them, which I wasn't really interested in when I first started learning tarot. And then the astrology houses matched up with the tarot, and then it was all these numbers, and then I just went down a big rabbit hole. You just keep going because you learn, and you keep, you just keep finding more little neat little things, and you just keep going on and on. There's your name, your birthday, where you live, license plate, the angel numbers, and it all goes together. The tarot, the astrology, the numerology, it's all connected.
Don't think people realize that they're like how connected they are.
Mm-hmm.
They just think it's just separate things.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're good that way. There's all kinds of things that you do to it, and it's all learning, right? What you need, not what you need to learn, but what you're working on in this lifetime. So you get drawn to certain numbers, and like astrology, you get drawn to certain planets, and the tarot, you get, tarot and your oracle cards are different. So some people like tarot, some like the oracle cards, but it's all, I don't know, it all does go together when you're learning it. You can just
I
go
think
from one to the other.
I found that interesting when I started learning tarot, because I learned tarot intuitively. But then once I was like, I want to know more. So when you are so right. When I started dating, I was like, okay, when you look at the numerology of the cards, and then you can realize that there's astrology associated with each card, and that there's a number with that astrology as well. It is like a rabbit hole that never stops. It never
Yeah.
stops.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You can just keep going.
Then if you even start associating chakras with colors, and it
Mhm.
just keeps growing and growing. It's very interesting how numbers are tied to everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And the clock and the months and how it goes on and on. And all the stories in the Bible, how the 7 days and all that kind of stuff.
I think some people may maybe get overwhelmed by the idea of numbers being so meaningful, or just like adding just what you add numbers together to get to, what you're looking for. Um, but once you learn how to do it, it's really not that hard, is it?
No, it isn't. And all it is information. Like it really is. You just take and blend it, and it's not hard at all. It's just to understand the root numbers, and then you just go from there.
Michelle,
yeah, numbers are the universal language, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, and it's just how you get, how you learn them. And it's just like I said before, it's just like another language. It's like learning Chinese or learning astrology. Like astrology is a language. Chinese is a language. Numbers are a language. So, and it's just, like the scientists, that's a language. And playing piano, the music, that's like a language.
That's true.
Just like the code, like the binary code, like in the Matrix.
Mm-hmm.
All those numbers. So how do you go about what's your preferred method of trying to figure out, like, reading someone's numbers? Do you do the name, the birthday? What's your preferred method? And what does each one tell you about the person? If I did my birthday, what would that tell you about me as opposed to my name?
Okay, it just suggests the energy that you have. So you take your name number, you do those numbers, and sometimes in your name number, when you do the full name, you have missing numbers, right? So you go from 1 to 9. So not everybody has all the 9 numbers in their name for their letters. So then you would go to your birthday and see if you got any of those numbers in your birthday to fill in that void. And when people, like when twins are born, they have the same time or the same date, and then their time is off, not by much. You can go into their time too, but then you would go into their name, right? Because their birthday would be the same. So then you would start dissecting their name, their vowels, and all that kind of stuff. So when I do my readings, I do the name, and then the birthday, and then I go in and I do tarot cards and a little bit of astrology, because if you don't follow like the astrology, you can't do somebody's chart. So I'll say, well, the sun's here, and if the sun's opposite your natal sun, well, that's why sometimes you're tired, because the sun's on the other side of your chart, and you're in a 3-year, but that's going to come good for you, and all that kind of, you just blend it all, just keep blending it all together. So that's what I do. I just start with the 9 numbers and then go into the 3 like master numbers. And because it gets too much information and then nobody knows what you're talking about. Right? Especially when you don't study it. Like it's
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, how am I supposed to remember this?
So
So I
you
don't get too in depth with it when I do a reading because it's too much.
so you've studied numerology, astrology, and tarot. Which do you feel like was the most complex for you?
Oh, the astrology. It's like, God, that is unreal.
See, Ryan, you should feel better because we did astrology with Jody, and Ryan was like, "I'm so confused."
Yeah, the astrology 101 class with Joni earlier this year, and it was very interesting. To learn about the houses and the different planets and stuff like that. It was fun.
Oh
You know, because
yeah.
it's
Sandra.
what's up, Sandra? How are you? Teresa asked, "Do you have a chart for what numbers match the letters?"
Yes. There's like you go from like 1 to 9. And the reason the charts there's 2 different kinds of charts. So one school of thought doesn't use the 9, but I use the 1 to 9 because when you go to 10, that's 2 digits. If we go from 1 to 9, it's 1 digit, right? Then when you go to 10, it's a whole different set of numbers. So if you go from A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, right? Then you go up to I is 9, and then you start back over at 1 again. So you do 2 rows of 9, and then you end up at the end, right? So A, J, and S would be all number 1s, okay? And then B, T, and J, K. B, K, and J would all be number 2, something like that. You know what I mean? You got to go down A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I would be 9. J would be 1. K would be 2. So you go that way. Okay, so 1 to 9, 1 to 9. Everything is 1 to 9. Your personal years, the universal years, you just make that your foundation. So you would learn your numbers from 1 to 9, make that your foundation, and then start figuring all the other stuff out, what's missing and what's repetitive. And
Very interesting.
Wow.
so for now, like for us now, we're in 2026. So if you add 2 and 0 and 2 and 6 together, you get a 10. And then you take that down to a 1. So we're in a new 9-year cycle because everything goes from 1 to 9. We just left a 9-year cycle.
So, if you're going to do a reading for Rhonda and I, what would we have to give you for you to give us a reading, Sean?
Okay, I just need. I'll just do your what year you're in. Okay, so what's your month and your day?
I'm October. My birthday.
Yeah. So your month and your day.
October 18th, 10/18.
October 18th.
Need a year too, because I don't care.
No, I'm just going to do
Okay.
this. I'm going to do
All
a
right.
small reading, okay? And Rhonda, what's yours?
January 25th.
Okay. I already done your names, but I didn't have your birthday, okay? So Ryan, your name is a 22-4. So you have a master number. So there's 3 master numbers, and they're 11, 22, and 33. You can do the other ones, but I don't. I just do the first 3 because 33 11, 22, and 33. Sometimes I do 44. Okay, because that still adds up to 1 to 9, comes to an 8. But if you go 55, that comes to a double digit. Okay, so 22 means that you are a master builder. So you can take other people's dreams and you can build upon your own dreams. You have, it suggests that you can take things and make sure they all fit together. You keep going, you're organized. You just keep lining them all up until it all fits. And then you'll break free, because the 22 is a 4. The next number is a 5. 5 likes freedom. But when you're in a 4, when your name is a 4, you're a builder. So you don't have that freedom. But once everything is in place, boom, there you get your freedom. Okay, so you can build empires. You know how to do it. You'll just figure it out. You'll keep going until you can do it. The 9 for R, you've got everything up in the air. You hold a lot of information up there and you'll take it into the future. The Y tells again that you have everything, you hold everything up high. So in your mind, you've got a lot of things sitting. The A tells that you're very individual, so your ideas are yours alone. You may be a little stubborn. And the N tells that you'll share your information. You like talking, the internet. You may like to travel. So October is a 10. That again says that you're very much with yourself. Like you can do things on your own. So now we have 2 1s, just with your one name, right? Not with your full name, but just with your name. So you're very independent when you have a 10, and you've got 1 and a 0. 0 gives any number power. Okay, so when you see a 0, you see nothing. That's the first thing you think of. But if you imagine, if you walk behind a 0 and look through it, you see the whole world. So there's so much possibility when any of the numbers have a 0 behind it. The 18 tells, again, you have that 1, that independent. And the 8 is like a CEO. It's the boss. It likes to balance. So there you have like a lot of strength with just your birthday, just with your month and your day. Your 18 comes down to a 9. The 9 is the healer and the teacher, because the 9 has watched all the other numbers. And it is the last single digit. And it goes this way, right? When you write a 9, you go like that. All that information that you've seen all the other numbers doing. And then when you look at R, R is going to the future. So you hold a lot between your past and your future. You hold a lot up in your mind. So when you take October, comes down to a 1, 18 comes to a 9, and then when we take 2026, add that up, it comes to a 10. Your numbers are 191 for this year. That is 11. That's a year of being a light for others. It is the messenger. 11 is the master number of the messenger. So this year, you're sending out messages, but that's the higher octave of the 2, because when you add 1 and 1 together, 1 is the sun. So you've got 2 suns there, right? So you're pretty bright this year in light. And then when you add the 2 1s together, it comes down to the 2. And the 2 is ruled by the moon, but also the 2 is half of a heart. You know, when you write a 2, you go like that. So it's going to be a year of relationships, of supporting others, being a light to others, blending, trying to balance. And then next year, you're going to have a fun year. 3 is a fun year. So last year was a new beginning of your 9-year cycle. So you've just left a 9-year cycle, and this year you're going to balance. This year you're balancing, you're cooperating, friendships, new friendships, relationships, all that kind of stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely.
does.
I'm like, holy crap, they probably think I'm half nuts.
No,
No.
it's just, you know, how you break the numbers down, and like the whole thing with the 9 looking towards the past and the R looking towards the future. And you know, you're right as far as like just as far as me looking towards the future, but also, you know, I'm a very nostalgic person. Like I enjoy the past, looking back and, you know, enjoying memories, but I also have my eyes on, you know, what's going on in the future as well. So that definitely makes a lot of sense.
Oh, good. Yeah. So what was your year?
1977.
So you're 24, 14, 15. Okay. So your year tells that you're a caretaker. You look after your family and your friends. 6s and 9s are the twins. So the 6 is a caretaker for family and close friends. You know, you're a very caring and compassionate person. The 9 is like the humanitarian. Now, you know, when you see the 9 and then the 6 is on the bottom, that's why they call them the twins. The 9 is in a bigger scale. So a 9 would be in groups and cities, that kind of thing, where the 6s is more close to your family and your friends. So that is 6. So you have the 9 with the 18, you have the 6 with your year, and then you have the 1. So 9, 10, and 6 is 16 and a 7. So there you go. That's your life path, is a 7. So a 7 is all about faith. Faith. You're like a mystic. It's like the rabbit holes going down. You like to find, you're a seeker of your own. You like to go down the rabbit holes and question everything. Like, why does this work and why does that work? And 7 is like the spiritual work cross. You know how some people write that 7 and put that little tick in the middle? That's the work cross. So you like the number 7.
I just actually did that. I put it on, wrote 7 down and put the cross in it without even like right, if you can see it.
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't
yeah.
see it. But
So
yeah,
see,
I just wrote it down.
that's maybe why you like the number 7. Because
Oh, I
that
didn't even realize
energy,
that.
you're
Yeah.
born with that energy, right? When you add up October 18, 1977, all those numbers add up to a 7. So there's the 1 for 10, the 9 for 18, and the 6 for 1977. So 9 and 10 and 6 is 16, and 1 and 6 is 7. So you're the mystic, the faith, the healer. You like to go down, search for your own truth. You like the mysteries in the world.
I mean, I can't argue with that. I mean, that's pretty spot on there.
See?
Like,
It's easy. They're not hard. The numbers aren't hard once you learn what they mean, right?
it's really just breaking each number down.
Yep.
Can you get Rhonda?
Yep. What's your January 25th? Oh
Yep.
my God. Okay, so Rhonda, your name comes out. Now, this is really interesting because Ryan is a 22-4 and your name comes out to 33-6. You two both are master numbers. So you're here to enlighten us and to help us. He's to help build, you know, through his name, and your name is like a healer, the 33-6. With the 6, you heal with compassion and understanding. You have that. So yeah, it's neat that you two are together because you're both master builders. So Ryan is a 4. He'll build and build and build and put everything in place. And then you have the 6, and you're like the caretaker. It's like, come on, Ryan, you got to do this. And Ryan's
Keep
going,
me
but
in
I can
check.
see
Yeah,
it
that's
this
what
way.
she does. So that works. Yeah.
And Ryan goes, we can do it this way because I've got it figured out. And you go, okay, I'll let you this time, but come on, we have to finish off.
That sounds about like some conversations about shows we've had.
Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
Okay, so January is the same as October. You're very independent. So you and Ryan have that in common. The 25th is a 7. His life path is a 7. You also have that in common. But for your 7, it's a 2 and a 5. So 2 is the moon, ruled by the moon. And it's got that emotion to it. And 5 has got 5 is the telephone, the information. And then you have the 7. So your 7 is broke down different than Ryan's 7. Okay. And then if we put the 1 and the 7 with 2026 is a 9. So you're in a 2-year transition. You're letting go this year, and next year you're beginning. So you're like at the bookends. You got the 9 and then the 1. Okay, so you're going to be 2 years before you get settled down, where Ryan is just getting settled down. He just went through what you're going to go through.
Okay.
Okay. And then what was your year?
1973.
Oh, and you're a 1. So yes, I bet you're very stubborn. You do not bend very easily, do you?
A little bit.
Yeah. Because 1, when you think the number 1, it's like
stake in the sand.
Yep. And that's just the way it is. And then with the 7, so 1 is the first number, so it's very independent. I can do things on my own. I don't need a whole group of friends coming with me. If you want to come with me, fine. But when we get to the 7, the 1 leads, right? Because it's the first number. When we get to the 7 is more passive, and it's an inward number. And the 7's been watching all the other numbers. And the 7's watching that 1 saying, I can lead and do what they're doing, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to sit back and watch. They're like the FBI's, but they're very strong. 7 is as strong inwardly as they are as a 1 is out. So 1 can be like, everybody knows 1 can do it, but a 7 nobody will know, but they're as strong as the number 1. Right. And they go right across the top and then straight down. So they're getting all their information from above, like downloads, and then they bring her down and they're quiet about it. They don't say it, but a number 1 will say, hey, this is what I'm doing. Number 7 will say, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to tell anybody. So, but they're the same, but they're different. One's an outward, not 1, and the other one's inward.
Very interesting. Very true too. Very true too.
Yeah. So I'll tell you quick. It won't take me long. I'll tell you what the numbers are. Okay. When you come to 1 lead. So the 0 is just power, right? Because it's all or nothing. So you have to decide how you want to use that 0. The 1 is the leader because he's first. Now, every number has a positive.
Hi, Michelle.
Pardon me?
Our friend Shelley's leaving. I just said bye to her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so all the numbers have a positive and a negative, right? So I don't go into the positive, and I'm just going to tell you what they are. So 1 can lead. 2 is more passive because it's behind the leader, and it's that half a heart. So they support the 1. And they like to balance and keep things cool. When you come to the 3 is like a spring. It's curious and it wants to have fun. And when you're in a 3-year, it's all about having fun. There's 1 year that you have fun in, and it's a 3-year. And Ryan, you get that next year. Next year should be your fun year. And three's like a young child. They want to know and they're curious and they want to have fun and they're happy. And then when you get to a four, fours are very organized and they like things in their place and they're the workers. So if you're in a 4 year, you're going to work. That's the year to do your work. When you come to a five, five's the telephone, the internet. Five likes to travel. It's ruled by Mercury, so it's in the air. So a lot of fives like to travel. They like to have fun. They're kind of like the threes. I always think the threes and the fives are kind of the same. Five's more like a teenager, where the three's a little bit younger, but they're both curious and they want to know. And the five's old enough, they like to try everything once, where the three will think, oh, I don't know. But the five will say, yeah, give me one, I'll try it. And they might do it again, they might not. Sixes are the caretakers, the family, their home, all that kind of stuff, the loving. Seven is the mystic, the one that likes to find their own answers. And they can be like the priests and that kind of people. They're very spiritual. They can be very spiritual. Eights are the warriors and the CEOs. Oh, excuse me. Seven likes to be the FBI. Seven is like an FBI. They like to watch and figure out for themselves. Eights like the CEO. They're the warriors. They got power. The eights have got power. And when you're in an 8 year, it's a good power year usually. Eight people are very strong. Eight is like a one. They're very independent. They got a little bit more power than one because they have more experience, right? Because they're later in the line. Nine is the healer and the teacher, the hermit. They know all, they got all the information from all the numbers. Nine is the only number. When you add nine to any number, it comes back to itself. So 9 and 1 is 10, 1 and 0 is 1. 9 and 2 is 11, 1 and 1 is 2. 9 and 3 is 12, 1 and 2 is 3. So 9 lets everyone be themselves. They don't attach themselves to them. They're the healer, the teacher, and like, oh, okay, yeah, if that's what you, how you like, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they let you be who you are. 10 can be a master number sometimes. Some of the people uses 10 as a master number. It's like the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot. You know, it's got its ups and downs. You never know, but it's very strong, right? 11 is the lighthouse. It's it holds the light for all of us, and it's like, you know, you don't know what color you want to paint your room, and you'll be talking to somebody, and they'll say, "Oh, I like the color blue," and oh yeah, that's what color I want. So, you know, those are the type of people that give you those little insights to help you figure out what you need to know. And they might just have a conversation with you sometime and it'll just click and you're like, holy, yeah. You know, and the person doesn't even know that they're giving you information. The 22s are the builders and they have a lot of light. No, the 22s are, the 11s are the sun. So you think how bright the sun is. The 22s are the moon. So they reflect. That's why they can build dreams and build other people's dreams, because they know how to do it. They know how to build and put everything into place because they're so organized. They're visionaries. They can see the end product. And the 33 are like the doctors and the nurses. They're the healers. They got the compassion. They healed through compassion and understanding, the 33s. And that's about it for now. I can tell you a lot of other numbers.
That's
when you add them
awesome.
together. But those are like the main numbers. So if you learn 1 to 9 and then the master numbers, and you got it.
So what gives the numbers these like distinctions, like 33 being healers? Because 3 are the ones who like to have fun, but you put 2 3s together, they become healers.
That's just the rules, Ryan. That's just the way it is.
It's the universe. Okay, all right. I'm not going to question the
No,
universe.
you know what? They have, so the 11, 22, and 33, they're the higher octave
Mm-hmm.
than the other numbers, right? So they have a stronger mission here on Earth. So 33 is a 6. The 6 is the caretaker. It looks after its home and its people here, and they're very loving. And I'm not saying other numbers aren't loving, but you know what I mean. They're like the big mamas or the big daddies in the family that take care of everyone, right? So then the 33, that's how the 33 gets to be, because it's a master number, because it's two of the threes, like 2 of the 2s and 2 of the 1s. It's like the higher octave of the main numbers.
Okay.
Yeah, and
That makes sense.
I even thought about it when you said like 3 is the, you know, it's they like to have fun. But to me, when I'm having fun, I want everybody else to have fun. So I'm going to be more like trying to help bring everybody along with me. You know,
And 3-2 is ruled by Jupiter. And that's what Jupiter does. It just keeps bringing it bigger. If it's good or bad or whatever, there's just add more to it, right? So 3 is ruled by Jupiter. But that's why 33 is like, it's a master number, because it's the double root number, and it comes to 6, and 6 is the loving number, the caretaker.
Would you have time to do our friend Teresa's numbers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right, Teresa.
I think she gave them to us. Let me look. Teresa's
Scroll back
is
up here.
June 17th, 1969.
Okay, start over again.
June 17th, 1969.
Okay.
And then Teresa's THERESA.
And then I guess her last name is COWLEY.
Okay, June 17th, 1969.
Correct.
Right? THERESA.
Correct.
COWLEY.
Correct.
Okay. So June is a 6. So she's got the caretaker, right? Energy with the 6. 17, that's a mind number. Remember what I told you about the 1 and the 7? The 1 is like, hey, I can do this on my own. And 7 goes, I'm going to be like an FBI. I'll find my own answers, but I'm not telling that 1 that I can do it. So she's got inner and outer strength. The inner strength you don't show, the outer strength, is there. And then when you add the 1 and the 7 together, that's the CEO. She likes to be boss, or she can be boss. Not that she likes to be boss, but she can be the boss. And the 1 and the 7 together, when you add them, comes to 8. And 8 is ruled by Saturn. And it's like the 2 mirrors. And it's like, how they say about karma and all this stuff. It's just like your lessons. I just think karma is just a lesson that you need to learn. It's not good or bad or anything else. But 8 is karma. So it works. There's 2 4s and an 8. So all the details. There's more details and more details, because there's 2 4s and 8. 8 is slow, and it's like a racetrack. There's no beginning or no end. It just keeps going until it gets it right. But that 8 can empower other people. They're here to help other people, right? Because they've got the strength and the repetition. They can go on forever. 8's because there's no beginning or no end when you write the number 8, right? So they have a lot of power. And then being the 17, she's very strong with that 8. And 1967 comes out to 7.
1969.
Or 69. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that
Well,
adds up
69,
to
right?
25.
Yes.
Comes to a 7. So there she's got that FBI. So she's a caretaker, very strong. She's got a lot of power to keep going, and she's got a lot of wisdom, and to probably when her strength isn't there, or when her strength is there, she relies on her faith, because 7 is big on faith and spirituality. So she would believe in herself, that inward strength. So she's got 2 7s there, right? So she's got a lot of inward strength. And 6, 21. 8 and 7's 15, and 6 is 21 is a 3. Well, 3s are can communicate. They're very creative. Okay. And so she's like, she would like to have fun. She's like that spring, but she'd be very serious. She's got that 8, and then she's got that 1 and 7. So she can be very serious. She can create. She's good at creating things. She's good at communicating, but there's the seriousness of her, serious side of her. Okay. So outwardly, when you see her, she's probably like, hi, how are you? But inside, it's like she's got this mathematical thing. She can figure out anything. Very strong. Okay. So Teresa would be 2, 8. So there's the H again, right? The H is the 8. So there's another 8 for her. Okay. And Teresa, S and A are both 1s. So her name starts with a T. That's a 2, but the T is like that. They like everything top shelf. They like everything in their place and to balance. It's a number 2. And then S and A are both 1s. So the T is sensitive, likes things to be in their place and everything. T is like the moon. That's why I said sensitive, because T is number 2. 2 is ruled by the moon. So she starts off sensitive, but at the end she's got those 2 1s. So it's like, don't mess with her. She might be a little sweetheart, but at the end she's got you. Okay, so I got 2 and 8 is 10. She got 2 5s. She might like to travel. When you got 5s, you like to travel. Okay. Oh, and her name, Teresa, is a 22. So she's a builder. So she's got, this suggests she's got the opportunity to be like a CEO. She could be her own boss, have her own business. She's like a visionary. She can build. She's got great insight. And 3, her last name starts with a 3. She creative again, communicating. The O. So she's like caring. The W. Now M is like a workaholic. M goes like this, right? Up and down. They can keep going. They can work. When you turn the M upside down, it's a W. So they take their information and they can hold it and it doesn't move. So she's very wise that way. And that's a 5. W's are 5s too, but they can hold on to their information. They're good that way. Okay, so 10. It's 9, a 29. Okay, so her last name, 10, 26, 29. Yeah. So Teresa is a 22. Her last name's an 11. So 29, her last number's 365, 351 comes out to a 29. 2 is water, ruled by the moon. 9 is ruled by Mars as fire. So that's fire and water. So sometimes her emotion might be like her temper might be off, or she might be change her moods quickly. The 29, 2 and 9 together is an 11. That light for us to follow, that insights. And then it comes down to a 2. So Teresa is a 22. Her last name is 11. 22 and 11 is the 33.
33.
Is the compassionate healer, teaches and heals through compassion. That would be good like for her. And like, you know what I was thinking, you know, with Reiki, she'd be good with Reiki. She'd be good as a nurse. She's got like a lot of inner strength to help with others. Is it close? Am I close?
I mean, apparently,
She said you made her
you
day.
said- yes,
Oh.
yeah. So I think you're pretty close there.
Oh, yeah.
And she is a photographer. She does a lot of work with families and taking family photographs. So helping families capture memories, kind of falls under what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
She's
And even
super
with
sweet, but
this,
I wouldn't mess with her.
pardon me?
I said she's super sweet, but I wouldn't want to get her on a bad
Oh,
side.
Got that Canadian
Oh.
temper. You know how that is. Woo!
No, yeah. No. And like,
Oh, look, retired nurse right there.
Retired nurse.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Because she's strong with the 17. Anyone that's born on the 17th, their mind, they're sharp. They're pretty sharp. And then she's got that other 7. And the 7 is like the mystic. And they're almost like healers because they're so spiritual, right? Yeah. And then the 22 and the 11.
Wow, man, this was
This is awesome.
fascinating. And I know there are a lot of people who want to have, yeah, I believe maple syrup. Yeah, you do. They'll love to have their numbers read. But you know, we don't have time to do that tonight, but we would love to have you back on sometime.
Oh, for
If you'd
sure.
be willing to come on and read some more numbers for us. I think a lot of people would love that information. And if you'd like to talk about, you know, anything you want to promote, like how people can like support you, stuff like that.
Oh, I just retired last year, so I've been just kind of, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I was going to start doing, you know, my videos and all that kind of stuff, but I just work in town at a store called Sacred Spells. They're a little metaphysical store, so it's kind of neat. I do readings there, and then I just started teaching like the classes, tarot and numerology and Lenormand. And other than that, I'm just kind of hanging out, trying to decide what to do. I was a hairdresser for like 47 years. So I'm kind of just, God, what do you do with the rest of your life after you get away from all, you know, the people, and you just kind of sit and you think, I don't know if I can just sit for the rest of my life. So I went to the store one day and I said, do you have a reader? I said, I can come in and do readings for you if you want. And I've been doing, like I used to do readings at work and that too. So I've been there now for just a year, a little over a year. They've just been open a year too. So I've been down there. And other than that, I've just been doing readings here and there and trying to figure out what I'm going to do. So sure. If you want me to come back on, I'll come back on. Just let me know. I'm just hanging out, doing my thing,
We
trying
would
to figure
love
out
for
what
you
to do.
to. We'd love
Yeah,
that
we-
because that promotes you, and maybe you can get some more readings and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
This
We
is
have
so
like
fascinating. And I've taken a few mini classes on numerology, but like you even take it to a next level that I hadn't even thought about. So like I think like I'd love to just ask you questions of like how to do numerology and other things. Like if you need to sign a contract or you need to buy a car or you need to, you know, you want to compare you with like a partner. Like I have so many questions. So we definitely need to have you back.
You know, the one thing I'll tell you, which I think is kind of neat, the day you're born is one of your most important numbers, because out of 365 days, you pick that number, right? Of all the numbers. So they say that's one of your luckiest numbers. That, and when you add up your birthday, that number.
does the number of like, if you say I was born on a Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
if you does like, how does what does the day of the week
Have a
tell you
number?
about?
Yeah, the
first?
Tuesday, it's ruled by a planet, but I'm not sure. But the I don't do the numbers for the day of the week, really. I think there is a thing for numbers, so it's probably in one of my books, but I don't add that because a lot
We
of
could-
people don't know.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of people don't know what day. And It's like astrology, right? What time were you born? A lot of people don't know what time they're born, right? So that's kind of, I just kind of do my thing, and I can figure out, there's like, you figure out your whole year every month, how it's going to go. There's one man I listen to, he does criminal numerology.
That'd be
And it's
fascinating.
neat. I
Yeah.
started doing that for a while. He was doing readings and saying what happened. And then it gets like, oh my God, it's just crazy. It's just more numbers to learn. And that's a different language, right?
Yeah.
So you got to take your odd numbers, and too, you can do that with your name. When you do your full name, do your odd numbers and your even numbers. Your odd numbers are masculine, your even numbers are feminine. Do you have more feminine numbers, or do you have more masculine? Oh, it just goes on and on, right?
Wow.
And compatible numbers. So your compatible numbers, an easy way to remember that, 3 6s and 9s get together, right? They get along. 2 5s and 8, and 1 4s and 7s. Right. So if you start with 3 6 and 9, put them on the top and then work down, you can figure out the grid that way. But I don't go by compatibility and all that kind of stuff, because I always think, like, if you got two numbers that shouldn't be together, if you meet halfway in the middle, you can make it work, right? So I don't like to say, oh, you shouldn't be going, with that one. But sometimes you can tell with the numbers, like, I hate to say it, but you can. If somebody's got a lot of 1s and 7s, and you've got like a lot of 2s and 7s, like, if you're sensitive, you don't want to be with somebody that's, got a lot of 1s and 8s and 7s, because they're powerful. The other ones are really sensitive.
So,
right? Sometimes that don't work.
So if you give out relationship advice to those people, you'd probably be like, yeah, maybe you might want to.
It's going to take a lot of work to make
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say. I'm like, they've got very strong personality. And they go, yeah, I know. And I'm like, oh, well. You can...
I mean, it's up to them in the end, but, just saying.
Yeah.
When the universe
It's not
tells
going to
you
be
something.
easy flowing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then,
You
too, when you get your... nobody believes in numbers until they see 11:11 on the clock, and then it's like,
oh yeah,
my God.
all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh.
So when you see the repetitive numbers and like the angel numbers and all that, everybody's got their own take on what that means, right? But really, when you see 111 or 1111, those are all ones, and 1 is the first number. Like, it's independent. It's like go time, right? It's first in line. If you want to do it, you're first in line. You better get at it. Like that kind of stuff. And when you see 222, well, 2's ruled by the moon, and it's sensitive and wants to balance, and it's half a heart. It's relationships. And, you add 222 together, it's a 6. Well, that's the loving number. So it's like you can figure them out that way. It doesn't have to be a whole structured thing either. You just add them up, right?
Yeah, I mean, you always hear they're trying to tell you something. They're giving you a sign, and if you look at it like, oh my God, what are they telling me? Like, actual thoughts in my head, you're not going to get anywhere. But if you break down the numbers that are right in front of you, it's not something where it's going to be like, okay, it's telling me to do this. You've got to look at the numbers and break them down and figure it out on your own what the numbers are.
Yeah.
They're not going to transplant a message in your head.
Yes. Because it always means something different. I would say, like, if you have 10 people in a room and you ask them, what's your interpretation of a tree? You're going to get 10 different trees, right? And it's just like everything. Like, if I come back on the show and we did the exact same show as this, I'd have a whole different story to tell you, right? Because it's very fat at the time you see the number or that kind of thing, right? You see 111 some days and you're going uptown and you think, oh, well, yeah, I'm going. And then the next day you see 111 and you think, I ain't going uptown today. Like, it's just where you're at the time that the number comes in, or the license plate. When you see somebody's license plate, It's like, oh, it's a sign. You know, that's my favorite number.
Yeah.
It's when, you know, too, it's like reading the cards. It's like when you need the message is there. So the message might be there, but you might not need it today, but you might recognize it the next day and think, oh, I seen that number yesterday. You know,
That's true.
It's like that kind of thing.
And sometimes the message is for you in the future, but you might get it today. You might not realize what the message means. And then a month or so later, you'll come back like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not
That's
ready
not
to
fair
understand the
either, is
message
it?
yet.
Yeah.
You know? Wow. Well, Sue, thank you so much for joining us. And I'll definitely talk to you about coming back on and reading some more numbers and kind of going deeper into like, you know, like you were talking about like relationships, or like Rhonda was talking about making decisions in your everyday life using numerology, what it can tell us about our future.
Yeah. You do that like too with what year you're in, right?
Okay.
Like she's going through transition. You've just come through transition. Now you're in your relationship. Now, I kind of go by that, and then I kind of don't. I'm like, but you know, when you look back, you can see it. But when you're in it, it's like anything else. You can't see it when you're in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
So I don't know.
Well,
It's just, you can go really deep with any subject, but it's like when you're studying it, you're in it and you can't see it. But then after, or if you're looking at somebody else's numbers, it's like, oh, I can see that going on over there. Oh yeah, that's what's going on. But you're not living it, so you can see it. So it's just your own study, right? You have to learn your own, you have to understand the language yourself, the way you can, right? Because somebody else that does numbers, they wouldn't do them like I do them, probably. Well, I know they don't, because I don't. I just read all kinds of stuff, and then I just think, yeah, that sounds good. That's right. And then I got to think about it.
Yeah,
then I got to think about it all night long for months on end. And then it's like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
But you're doing it intuitively too, which is what I love. It's like you're taking like the numerology, but I think you've got your own intuitive twist on there going too, which is, I think, what makes your readings amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks. Thank you. I just kind of do what I learn, and then I just kind of just go with where the number looks like and the letters. And
I had never heard of anybody looking at like you said, like the 2 is behind the 1, and like the stake in the sand for a set. Like I had never thought of that. So it's amazing. It's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just what you learn on the way. Like, God, you can buy books and you learn one thing, like one line in a book, and you got it, right? And then the next book, you got to read 350 pages and you still don't get it. So it's just, you know, how you learn.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could go down, this is keep going down that rabbit hole.
But like, you never get bored. You're constantly learning.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
That's the thing.
Oh,
it's so amazing. See, 6 is the loving number, and then 666 has a bad rap.
But too, when you think of the 666, now I think this is neat too. 666 is supposed to be like the devil or negative energy. But if you turn that 6 around, it can be a devil on one side and the angel on the other, because that's the opposite. And there's opposites of everything, right? There's the positive and negative. And like, nobody ever says that the opposite of the devil is the angel, right?
That's true.
And then the 6, that's earth energy, right? Because that 6 comes down and the whole bottom sits on the bottom. Do you get it? The way, you know, the 6 comes down like that. But if you do the twin's a 9, and it's up in the heavens and it's coming down. The opposite, right? So the 666, I don't know why. Oh, 6, it's the 18. So 18 in the tarot is the moon, right? So that's probably how too it adds up to the devil, right? Because it's all darkness. where 6 isn't even darkness. And it's like the devil on one side and the angel on the other. I like that for that because you don't think of that. Nobody thinks of the positive side of the 6.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't think about that way either. That's pretty crazy. But unfortunately, we're gonna have to come to an end. Thank you, Sue, very much for joining us tonight. We'll definitely have you back on in the future to do some more readings and learn a little bit more about numerology.
Okay. Yes, it's been fun. Thanks for asking me. Hope you had fun.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out to Joni because she is the one who gave me your email address and told me to have you on. So
Brian has been saying, I've been with Brian now like 3 years. He's like, I want to do numerology. I want to have somebody does numerology. So this is fabulous.
Yes.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yes. Good. And I think we have a lot of people in the chat who are definitely interested in learning more about numerology after this show. So thank you so much for hanging out with us and helping us learn more about numerology.
Oh, you're welcome.
All right. Have a good night.
Okay. You too. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
That was fun.
That was so much fun. And like my mind is like racing right now. That's why sometimes our show messes me up sleeping.
I was trying to keep up with her. And
but you do it all the time. You get that way.
Yeah. My gears were turning. But I mean, when you talk about ghosts and paranormal, so I can grasp that stuff. You know, it's the stuff she was talking about. I was just trying to listen to what she was saying and adding the numbers together, 1 and 8 to 9 and 9 to 2 and all this stuff. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, I'm surprised you didn't see smoke coming out of my ears trying to figure out what she was talking about. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm glad we were able to get you in for a reading. And I know some people gave
so we'll definitely have Sue back to do some readings for everybody else.
Yeah, I'm glad she's willing to come back and do some readings for people.
Yeah.
So
a teaser, you get a flavor.
Yeah. We've got to have a show where we learn about it.
Yeah.
And then after that, we can start actually bringing people. Especially, you gotta make sure she's okay with doing readings and stuff like that. But it seems like she is. So we'll have her back on probably later on this summer. To come back and do some readings tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got the What's Going Down podcast with Howie.
Oh, good. That's good to know. I don't know if I have meetings tomorrow or not. If not, I'll pop on and say hi.
Cool. I think we're talking about doppelgangers. We had an interesting experience
conversation
we both saw each other's doppelgangers.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
And y'all did it on the same night, didn't you?
No, different nights, different places. But it was an interesting story. We'll get into it on.
I hope I don't have any meetings at 11 so I can join.
Oh yeah, come on. Yeah, join us. And
I won't join you. I'll just be in the chat asking questions.
Okay, I got you. And then we've got paranormal investigator Joe Campbell from Newark, not New York.
Oh, Joe
Newark.
Campbell. We've had. I know Joe. Yeah.
Yeah, he's joining us on TikTok on cool. Thursday, and then we are bringing back a TikTok guest from way back when we first started doing it in January. RIP is joining us for a show. I would say continuation because for the people who were not on TikTok, we'll probably have to start over again with them. So they are so
that our Facebook and YouTube followers get to see them a little bit more.
Yes. They are out of I believe Missouri. Mm-hmm. They are from Missouri and they've had some interesting cases. Lots of paranormal stuff going on with them. I'll see if they want to send us some evidence. We can go over some stuff they've captured out there. So we've got some good stuff coming up here. Let's see what we have in May. May 5th, we have Graveside Paranormal.
Cool.
May 12th, Luann Jolly comes back and joins
Nice.
us. So we've got to check out The Curse of Lizzie Borden on May
Nice.
12th. That's homework for you guys. Watch The Curse of Lizzie Borden if you can find it on Discovery Plus. And then May 19th, we have Soulfire Paranormal coming on. So we are booked.
And then before the 19th.
Oh, yeah. We have Cabin Con.
You have to come because Ryan and I will be going live. We're going to be interviewing speakers. We're gonna
be all over the place. I think we're gonna probably be going live on maybe TikTok. If we can't get my computer up, we'll go live on TikTok and we'll definitely be interviewing some of the guests we have at Cabin Con, our friends.
And I happen to know somebody who's putting together I happen to know because I was asked to be a speaker, but I didn't have time to get it together. So I happen to know who's helping put that list together, Miss Kim Sage. And I'll find out who and we can kind of maybe set some times with ahead of time.
I'm not even sure who's going to be there. Like only people I know for guests are guest speakers is 13th Floor Haunted Media Productions.
Yeah, there's going to be more than that. Like I know Kim is helping Candy Schultz do a thing, and then I know my friend Esmeralda James, who's a demonologist. She will be there doing some speaking. So Jennifer Lee and Frosty, who have a podcast, they're going to be there, and they're investigators, and she's a medium, so we could grab some time with them and speak with them really quick. So I got a list. We should just figure out like when you're going to be there, like just figure out some times and let's get them like on a schedule to make sure it's not like we can make sure it's not corresponding with when they're speaking, but just at least go say hi. And our friends Cody and Robin will be there, and will be there. So it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, we're gonna like a whole like freaking awesome reunion at the Cabin Con. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I don't know when you're seeing the Wraith Chasers, but I have investigated with them twice. My team, FPRI, I'll send you the information so they'll know. We help them with the investigations they do at Belgrove Plantation.
They're coming back to the they have going back to Belgrove.
They'll be back at Belgrove at the end of August.
Yep.
So we're helping with that investigation as well through Haunted Nights. So
and then they'll be back at the cabin in October.
Yep.
I believe October or September. I think October. Pretty sure it's October.
Yeah, but we haven't ever tried to get them on the show. So Teresa, talk to them.
Yeah.
Talk to them.
Yeah, definitely.
That's awesome. They're cool guys. They're very cool.
Yeah, they are. They are really nice.
Yeah. They're awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be back here. I'll be back here tomorrow with Howie.
And I'll hopefully be in the chat.
Yes, and we've got some cool stories. And then
Thursday night.
Thursday, check out Joe Campbell.
He's a really great awesome investigator. That's fun.
I can't wait to talk to him about his investigations. I was actually on his show talking about the cabin. About a month ago. And then Tuesday, definitely RIP. Great show, great guests. We've had him on the TikTok before, and you're not going to miss this show, any of our shows. You don't want to miss any of our shows. And again, everyone, thank you in the chat. We appreciate you so much tuning in, especially on National Bunyan Day. I know this is tough. Squeezing us in. But we're back here on Thursday night, TikTok, same freaking awesome time.
Same freaking awesome show.
See you later, guys.
Bye.